Hello all out there on YouTube. I'm just here walking the happy boy Tucker, who is always obsessed with my phone whenever I bring it out. As you can see, this is a re-upload from my old channel. Very sorry about that. It was just a very, very busy week, and for the past few days I've been running on fumes, so I didn't really have time to make an actual review for you guys this week. But so I'm just uploading a video from my old channel back in the day when I was 10 times more awkward than I am now. Still awkward, just a little better at controlling my awkwardness. But so yes, next week I promise I will have a legitimate video for you guys, something better and more polished than what I'm uploading today. But enjoy this little blast from my past, from my old channel, and I will see you all next week. And until then, here's another Tucker shot. Oh, easy, buddy. Here he is. Okay. All right, enjoy this old video. It's time to talk about the greatest evil the world has ever known.
Watch it, Alan. I'm shooting.
Night of the Lepus. So Easter is coming up, when we celebrate the day that Jesus rose from the grave and made all the rabbits lay eggs. We all have our holiday traditions, whether it be Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, or Easter. As a fan of horror and exploitation cinema, my tradition on this sacred day is to watch a movie about giant killer bunny rabbits. The plot of Night of the Lepus sounds like it would fit more in with 1950s sci-fi B-movies, not so much 1970s Grindhouse horror. The plot is right out of 50s sci-fi. Rabbits have overpopulated this ranch land, demolishing crops, destroying the land, basically ruining the livelihood for these farmers. So, in typical B-movie fashion, scientists create a formula to try to control the rabbit population. And if you've ever seen a B-movie before, you know the rabbits are going to grow giant size and start ripping people apart.
Left or right? Right.
Let's take a trip down memory lane for a minute. I first heard about this movie when I was a kid. I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade. It was Easter. My brother and I were spending Easter at my mom's house, so my dad was just taking it easy that day and watching Jaws. Every Easter they would show the Jaws series on TV, and since we were at my mom's house for Easter, my dad would just sit back at his house and enjoy the series. So when we visited him the next day, he told us about how he fell asleep during Jaws 3, woke up in the middle of the night to this movie, Night of the Lepus, and he told us all about these giant rabbits knocking people over and chewing them up. What made it even better was that we had rabbits at his house when we were kids, so we would always picture our rabbits in the place of these killer rabbits terrorizing the countryside. But it sucks because after that year, they never showed it on TV again, or at least not on any of the channels that my dad had. So my brother and I never got to see this movie when we were kids. Luckily, when I was in college, they finally released it on DVD, and I finally got to see it.
Attention! Attention! Ladies and gentlemen, attention! There is a herd of killer rabbits headed this way, and we desperately need your help.
Now, I'm a big fan of these eco-terror killer animal movies. And just like with any genre, you have your good movies, your bad movies, and your so bad they're good movies. That's what you think when watching Night of the Lepus. Any rational person would hear the plot, giant killer bunny rabbits and think this movie's not going to be good, but it's going to be entertaining. That's what I was expecting when I first watched Night of the Lepus. But this movie surprised me. Yes, the idea is silly, and the ludicrous idea helps make this movie so entertaining. Because let's face it, rabbits are not scary. Most of the time, rabbits are not scary. However, what made me love this movie was the fact that they took their silly idea and put actual effort into it. It's a pretty damn good movie. Not scary, but good. There are some pretty big stars in this movie, and this is not the situation where they were unknown before this movie, and then afterwards they became famous. No, they were already famous before this movie. Stuart Whitman, Janet Leigh of Psycho fame, and DeForest Kelley, who was Dr. McCoy in Star Trek. The effects work is pretty good too. They mix live rabbits with miniatures, green screens, and guys in rabbit suits. And yes, during the rabbit attack scenes, God that sounds weird, you can tell that it's a guy in a suit. It's funny, but it's also pretty good from a movie from 1972. They do a good job mixing the real rabbits and the fake rabbits together. The miniatures are well done. You can't help but giggle when you see these killer bunnies moving through the streets in this slow, menacing way. But as funny as it is, it works. This movie about killer bunnies works. Every killer animal flick or monster on the loose movie has those cliches that we've come to expect. Night of the Lepus does have those cliches, but it doesn't use the more annoying cliches. And I respect that. I respect the killer bunny movie.
Could this have been caused by the serum you injected in that one rabbit?
I'm sure of it. It only takes one.
There are probably thousands of them. This must be their breeding ground. Let's get the hell out of here.
For example, so many of these movies have that asshole character. You know what I'm talking about. The mayor from Jaws, the mayor from Piranha, Burke from Aliens. This is the person that either chooses to ignore the problem for financial gain, use the creature for profit, or study the creature for science. But that's not in this movie. Everybody, once they realize there's a problem, they want to do what they can to fix it and keep people safe. And we've all seen that sheriff. You know, the guy who refuses to listen to the main characters even though people are dying, and then he just ends up making the situation worse, and then gets killed. But in Night of the Lepus, the sheriff is very cooperative with the scientists when they tell him about killer rabbits.
Sheriff, we have something horrible to tell you.
Your frantic call wouldn't have anything to do with rabbits, would it?
How did you know?
They tell me that's what killed Captain Billy and that truck driver. Rabbits with teeth that long. Crime Lab's been double-checking their tests all morning.
The Killer Bunny movie does not use those annoying cliches. And the reason I keep saying this is because it's true. This movie about killer bunny rabbits puts in so much more effort than you would expect. Night of the Lepus is silly, but it's good silly. Not so bad it's good silly, just good silly. Now here's what I want you to put in the comments today. Let me know about some movies with obviously silly plots that you think are legitimately good. Not just comedies. Movies that are trying to be serious with their goofy ideas. This is your buddy Justin, here to remind you that the Grindhouse will never die.